By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why rock bottom isn't a curse, it's your biggest advantage right now. A man who once had everything: fame, money, and talent, but he lost it all. His name was Robert Downey Jr. But for our story, let's call him a broken dreamer, because before he became Iron Man, that's exactly who he was. And imagine this: you are so unemployable that no one will hire you. You have got no money and nowhere to go. Your family has left you. Your addiction is eating away your life and it's taking you to jail. Maybe you can relate to this feeling, the feeling when everything around you starts to crumble and you wonder whether you will get back up or not. What happened next? No one saw it coming. He literally became Iron Man, a symbol of resurrection and strength.
I am Iron Man.
But how? How do you go from being worthless to becoming worth $300 million? That's I'll show you next. Because everything he went through, his fear, his doubt, his setbacks, lies inside you too. And so does the power to rise. See, when you hit rock bottom, when everything around you falls apart, your brain undergoes a drastic transformation. First is the elimination of fear of failure. When you hit rock bottom, something strange happens. Failure stops frightening you, fears loses its grip, and doubts, they just vanish in background. Because honestly, how much worse can it get? You stop worrying about what people will think, what they will say, or how they will judge you, and suddenly you begin to take steps that you never thought you could. Second is forced awareness. When you don't have to open every notification, answer every message, or chase every alert, and when all the noises and distractions finally disappear, now you're left staring at yourself. Nowhere to hide, nowhere to blame, and nowhere to make excuses. Every mistake you made, every shortcut that you took, and every warnings that you have ignored now come back to haunt you. But for the very first time, you start to see things as the way they are, not as they seem to appear. Pain that you're feeling right now, whether physical or emotional, can actually be your fuel. It's pain-driven motivation, and it's far stronger than comfort-driven motivation. Because this pain taps into our survival instincts, the instinct that helped humans survive and rise. Here's something surprising happens when you're at your lowest point. You stop taking things for granted. You start to notice smallest of things, like someone saying you a kind word, or someone's smile, or even a quiet moment. You start to notice everything. Even the smallest good things feels profound, meaningful, and alive. That sense of gratitude, it pushes you to grow in a ways that you have never imagined. So if you're in pain right now, I realize this. The pain that you're feeling right now, it's your brain preparing for something greater. Now let's move from Hollywood to a tiny apartment in UK. A woman sits at her kitchen table, notebook in hand, tears falling silently. She is a single mother living on welfare. Her heater is broken. She cannot afford to fix it. So she writes in cafes just to stay warm. Every publisher rejected her, telling her story wouldn't sell. Maybe you know the feeling of getting rejected over and over again. Maybe you also know what it feels like to hear people telling you that your dreams aren't worth pursuing. And that woman, J.K. Rowling, was sitting exactly where you might be right now. Completely broken, completely rejected, completely convinced that everyone else might be right about her limitations. The world now knows her as a creator of Harry Potter. But before that, she was just a broken soul at the rock bottom and wondering if her life had any meaning at all. And that brings me to someone else, the desperate entrepreneur. 8 years ago, she had only $5 in her wallet. She lived on 2-minute noodles. She slept in her office. She cried in her car, hoping for things to turn around. That was Dom Shai's reality. Here's what happened next, and pay close attention to this, because this could be you tomorrow. The very day she hit rock bottom, she made cold calls that landed a major deal. Not because she was suddenly more skilled, not because of her luck, but because rock bottom stripped away her fear. When you have got nothing to lose, you stop hesitating. You stop fearing rejection. You just act. That's it. Today, she runs a thriving business with 13 staff members. When you hear stories like J.K. Rowling and Tom Shire's, it's easy to feel inspired, but inspiration alone won't change your life. What actually changes your life is action. It's taking lessons from rock bottom and turning them into a step-by-step roadmap that you can actually follow. And here's the good news for you. You don't have to figure everything out by trial and error. I have broken it down into 5 stages. 5 actionable steps that anyone can follow to rebuild, refocus, and rise from wherever they are right now. Stage 1 is acceptance. First, accept where you are. If you don't admit that you messed things up, you will never try to change. So say this out loud. Yes, I know I messed things up, and here I am. But it's not where I am staying. Simple. Accepting doesn't mean you are giving up, it means you are making a space to build something new. Next, write down what went wrong and why. Don't just think, write it in detail. Because if you don't write, you will eventually forget why you started and you will lose the direction. Every setback and every failure contains a lesson. The answers are already there, all buried inside your story. You just need to find them. Then embrace starting over from zero. I know it sounds scary. Most people fear starting from scratch, but that fear, that's your advantage right now. When you have nothing to lose, you can literally build anything from the ground up. Think of it like a blank canvas. What will you paint now that your past is gone? Your feelings will fade, your doubts will fluctuate, but the work you do will remain. Right now, I'm at this stage myself. I'm still finding ways to do the work even when I don't feel like it. I'm still learning how to push past my emotions. Because the truth is, how we feel often decides how much of the work we actually do. And if we wait to feel ready, we will never move. So, move even if you don't feel ready. Breakthrough happens when you do the work despite fear, doubt, and uncertainty. Stage 5, rebuilding takes time. It takes time to repair the damage, to reclaim what's been lost. So success doesn't happen overnight. But here's the truth. If you don't stop, if you don't quit, and if you keep moving forward, it's no longer a question of if you will change your life. It's only a question is when. And step by step and day by day, your persistence turns your current struggle into a solid foundation, a base on which you will build your empire. Let's see how the next woman built her empire. It starts in a small room with flickering lights and the hum of old cameras. There's a young woman behind a desk, papers piled high, trying to make her mark. She cares too deeply about every story, the people, their pain, their hope. She doesn't read news, she feels it. One day, her boss called her in and said the words that shattered her. You are too emotionally involved in the news. We are letting you go. She walks out of that building in silence, feeling devastated. For days, she wondered if caring too much was a mistake. But the same heart that newsroom called a weakness became the reason millions would one day listen to her. That woman was Oprah Winfrey. Wise people like Oprah Winfrey rise and others break at the lowest point of life. You see, when life fucks, some people never stand up again, but others somehow rise through the same hell. The difference isn't the pain, it's how they respond to that pain. Those who rise have these 5 things in common. First, they tell themselves, this suffering won't last forever. Second, they stop waiting for someone to save them. They take responsibility of their own life, their own choices, and their own future. Third, they turn their anger into fuel, their heartbreak into drive, and their fear into motion. Fourth, they reach out to family, to friends, instead of drowning alone in silence. And fifth, this is the most important thing. To keep a tiny flame of belief alive, a belief that things will change for better, even when no one believes in it. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times trying to make a light bulb. He didn't call it a failure, instead he called it discovery. I haven't failed, he said. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's what separates from those who rise and those who break. It's not luck and it's not genius. A simple decision to keep moving on, even when everything says stop. If you're at your lowest point right now, remember this. You're not alone. Think of J.K. Rowling, a single mother, wrote her book in cafes because she couldn't afford electricity. Think of Oprah Winfrey, fired from her first job for caring too much. Those moments didn't feel heroic. They didn't feel special. The pain was real and their doubts too. And just like them, now the life has given you two choices, either rise or break. So if today you feel like you're bottom, take this to your heart. One of the most powerful things about hitting rock bottom is how it changes the way you see life forever. Those who have experienced two lows will never take their highs for granted. Researchers call this as post-traumatic growth, in which people emerge stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than before the fall. Your story isn't over, not by a long shot. It's just the beginning. So, let me congratulate you on reaching the rock bottom.